Hi, welcome to the Ambient iPad. I want to take a look at capturing and processing external analog audio. To do that, we're using a Mellotron M4000D with a mono analog output. That goes into a Focusrite Scarlett 18i8 interface. From there, the connection is a USB-C hub into the iPad Pro. The hub also allows me to power the iPad at the same time as doing all this. The main apps we're going to look at today for capturing and processing audio is apeMatrix, GarageBand, Cubasis 3, and AUM. The reason I'm making this video is I've gotten pretty frustrated lately with capturing audio. A lot of these apps, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. There might be noise, there might be static. I've particularly been having issues when I'm trying to use the Gauss Field Looper, so we'll bring that in as well, and probably a couple of instances of effects just to see how this all works out. All right, let me reposition the camera and we'll get going with this comparison and test. Let's start with apeMatrix. My goal here is to actually start with blank instances of all these apps and fill them out. But I did this one, I preloaded what I want to show here. We're just going to use a couple effects just so the sound can come through. There's really no other reason for that. But this really highlights what I like about apeMatrix and what I don't like about apeMatrix. So what I don't like is that it does not play well right now with screen recording at all. You're not really going to see that in my live videos or in the tracks that I produce and upload here to YouTube because I continually am doing this. I'm going back and forth to make sure that the icon is still visible. But the reason why I preset this is because this is the 5th time I'm starting this video and going into apeMatrix because it keeps crashing in the middle. And I say crashing, but I don't know what it's doing because you don't have any icon indication that screen recording is going. I just have to keep going back and forth. And once again, it kicked out. I'm just going to keep going. You know, I apologize for this, so there won't be any screen recording for this bit. I'm going to turn it on again. Hopefully we'll get sound, but if we don't, you'll know why, because the screen recording keeps turning off. For this, it's just the video from the camera. And I'm not even going to go back anymore. I just want to get through this because it's extremely frustrating. And unfortunately, this is the reason why I'm not really going to be using apeMatrix going forward with external audio, because I ended up spending at least twice the amount of time, if not more, in the actual recording of videos, because I just don't know until I'm done that it's stopped the recording or that it's kept going. It's going right now, so let's hope that we get something here. You have to enable along the top the effects, and you know, from that regard, I don't have any issues in apeMatrix. What I find most frustrating is because I can't use this because of the screen recording. And I've tried other apps too. It's not just the internal Apple screen recording. And it's only with external audio. If I was just using synths, soft synths apps on here, it's not a problem. It's only when I'm trying to get external audio in here, and I've tried everything, every variable, and I can't figure it out. So that's the huge disappointment for me, because very easy to get external audio in. I love the Matrix style of enabling effects. Same with Gauss. Gauss works well in here, but that's kind of where I'm at. So that's the deal for me with apeMatrix. Love the app, just isn't really working for a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now. So, all right, let's move on. And it shut off. So maybe some of that screen recording? Well, no, because it doesn't save any of the screen recording. So I'm leaving all this in. I'm not going to go back and try to do this again. So now you can kind of see the issues that I'm dealing with. So let's, you know, and I just want apeMatrix out of here. So let's get screen recording going again. All right. And then let's open up GarageBand. And first off, best thing about GarageBand and screen recording, you've got the icon right up here. I know whether it's happening or not. So I've already said I really like GarageBand, particularly for external audio, for the bass videos I've been putting up and things I do on my other channel. You know, it just works. And it works with the interface. It works with the hub. No issues at all. It's the limitations of GarageBand that are the issue, right? So there's no real mixer interface. For me also, I've been having issues trying to use Gauss in here. We'll do that because there is a way to make it work. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just loop 8 bars and we'll just keep overdubbing. Nope, you can't do that with external audio, because when it goes to the end of that eighth measure and comes back to the beginning, it just records right over and erases whatever you had there. So there's no, there's no concept of real loop overdubbing in this interface. There are live loops, and so you can make loops in a different part of GarageBand, but the overdubbing of audio, excuse me, nope, not working. All right, so we can see right? So this works great, not a problem. And again, I've mentioned this before, but it would be great if when you were using external audio, there was just kind of a blank or a clean, like, template here. But no, I use the lead vocal template, which to me seems the cleanest. I turn all the effects off. There's no effects in here. I've already deleted them. And then what I would do is I will go in and add more. And this is another limitation for me, which is you only get 4 apps. You can work around this because you do get, the equalizer, you do get the compressor built in, you do get delay and reverb, but if you want to use a lot of other AUV3s or inner apps, whether it be effects or whatever, again, you got your 4 slots here. So we'll make this work because just like I was trying to show with apeMatrix, I'm just going to have in the delay, K7D, and I'm just going to have in the audio reverb. So we need to enable these. So let's... and this will show you some more lovely things, issues I have with GarageBand. So let's get out of here. Okay, done. Jumping back and forth between these apps. Like I was in the apeMatrix frame of mind. Now I got to get into, I don't know why I did that because I'm changing this. Now I have to get into a GarageBand state of mind. Okay. And guess what? The effects are on. We're not hearing them because I believe we're not monitoring. So we turn monitoring on. There we go. We got the effects. And I know screen recording's still going. So right now, for this kind of period in time when I'm doing a lot on the Mellotron, particularly with Gauss, and that reminds me we have to add in Gauss. Okay, if this was apeMatrix, it definitely would have quit anytime you do something. So again, GarageBand is winning on the screen recording front. Let's get Gauss in here. Most of the times, working with the apps, it's user error, right? And I go and I look at the manual, or I look at a video and I see, oh, okay, well, that's the way you do it. Well, I've gone down the road for all this stuff, and still no solutions for some of these. So just strange. Okay, but there is actually a solution to this. So you go into Gauss and you turn monitoring on. So, okay. So I get that. I kind of get that from the flow. Everything's going into Gauss, and thus you need to enable monitoring so that all the effects you have previously will actually be heard. So that I get, okay. But okay, here's another thing. So I just recorded, nothing is happening. So I could not, none of this is being imprinted. Okay, so to do that, we need to, I know why Gauss isn't working, because I don't have it enabled. Now this should work. Okay. We got the effects, we got everything going, it's actually recording. So let's just... So you can hear. All right, so I can get Gauss working here, and here, all right, let's erase that. Okay, so that's GarageBand. So I can work around the limitations, but the limitations of having just 4 slots for effects, including Gauss, that's a little limiting for me. And also the fact that, you know, I go into Gauss to fiddle around with this, and I can't do anything else anywhere. I can't reposition this on the screen and go into, and that's important to me because particularly when I'm building loops up in Gauss, I don't use the same effects. I'll turn some on, I'll turn some off. So I'd have a lot of, you know, tapping to go around. All right, so that's GarageBand. Let's move on now to Cubasis. So this is just a blank instance of Cubasis. Let me make sure we're screen recording still, and we are. I haven't had any issues with screen recording with Cubasis. I'm going to go back one more time, but who knows? So I don't know if that popping's coming through, but anytime I go in and out, we get some popping. All right, so for the insert effects, I already have some in here too, so to save time. So we've got these, and you can hear them. All right, let me look on the channel here. And again, because we're monitoring, if I take monitoring off, nothing. All right. You know, there's a bit of, the good thing about Cubasis is even if Gauss doesn't work, you can loop and overdub audio without losing your previous loop. So you can just kind of build and build and build and make your own loops. Let's get Gauss going and we'll try this too. Again, better than GarageBand. I do have still access to the effects here. I can also have the channel going and then just call that up like that. But let's just go up to the effects. All right, so we've got monitor on, overdub on, everything's already set up. Let's just come around and we'll start again. All right, so Cubasis works, not an issue. Okay, so we can also control this, although not really seeing anything on the meters here. Let me go to mix. Okay, we've got it on the output here. All right, and then let me make sure for Gauss that we actually turned off record. So I'm not sure if that's coming in through, but that's my main issue. Getting a pop when I turn recording off, which I need to do, because then if I want to do some So that's the issue with Cubasis. Other than that, no problems. All right, let's stop this. All right, let's move on to AUM. Make sure we're still screen recording, and we are. So far, Cubasis is okay. I will say, you know, it's that popping, which we'll see if it actually comes through on the recorded audio. And I also do have issues that are not getting demonstrated here, which is occasionally, you know, sound will get distorted, or there'll be a static or something like that. And at the end of the day, you have to have a certain amount of patience to want to work with any type of soft synth. And that's kind of why I avoided them for so many years, is because there's always something, right? There's no perfect app. There's no perfect DAW. There's no perfect, you know, apeMatrix, AUM. There's always little things. And to be fair, that's okay. That's life, and you got to kind of find your way around the cracks in the road, so to speak. All right, let's open up AUM. Full disclosure, and if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know I never have used AUM before. I've opened it. I opened it last night for the first time in probably 6 months. So there might be something set up. I don't know what state it saves things in. But let's open this up. You know, maybe I use apeMatrix because I'm a bit of contrarian and everybody uses AUM. I gotta admit that the interface is good. And I may end up starting to use this. So bear with me. My skills on AUM are non-existent, to say the least. Let's make sure we're screen recording still, because I don't know how this plays with that, and it's fine so far. All right, so I know enough basics to know that we need to go in here. We're having a hardware input. And this is nice. I'll be completely honest. We see everything here. And we only want one. Swipe the node left to eject. Okay, so screen tips. Let's. Are we getting sound? Yes, we are. Okay. Color me impressed right off the bat. Didn't have to do anything fancy. Let's make sure we're still screen recording. Sorry. I know that gets annoying after a while, but it's annoying on this side of the lens too. All right, you know, I think we just, okay, we don't need that anymore. I believe we just add effects over here. And, oh, okay, that's cool. So it's alphabetical by maker. And so we want Imaginando for the K7D. All right. Whoops, I don't know what that is. I need to add another one. Double click for the next one, and of course Versen all the way at the bottom, probably, right? Yes, audio reverb. Okay, and then I was just gonna say, I assume you just click and you go in. So I'm just picking the same stuff for everything. Can move these around. That's a nice win right there compared to some of the other stuff we've been looking at. The basic tape delay. All right, and it's there. And then I believe you just move stuff off like that, right? Yep. Nice. I'm already a fan. And if we're screen recording, yes we are. Now I'm really a fan. This is cool, I gotta admit. Gauss. I hope I'm doing Gauss the right way. Maybe put it in the output. I don't know. All right, Gauss. Where's Mr. Bose? There we go. All right, snap speeds. Don't know what that is. So I am not the person, if you've happened upon this video through a search and you're expecting tips of AUM, you're not going to find them here. I am like just, you know, tapping in the dark. I will say that it's fairly intuitive because I've been able to get stuff added, or I've seen so many videos with people using AUM that's not a problem. Okay, so we know from other ones we have to turn monitoring on to get to hear the effects that come before it. We do overdub. I'm just going to whirl with this and let's see. Make sure there's nothing there. Okay, and let's just do some overdubbing. Okay, that works well. Okay, something interesting here though. One thing I like about apeMatrix too is that there's a level. I can see, you know, a meter wise if we're distorting or not, or going to distort. Whereas here, I'm not. I probably have to add something in. You could turn record off. Again, I got that. Not sure if it's coming through. Let's try the sequencing. Of course, we don't have any delay on. That's what you need. Still getting the popping. That's not good. All right, but let's turn that off. And then we could... Oh, let's get a different sound. Something we've never used. Muted trumpet. All right, so this works pretty good. So we kind of have a winner. I may start trying to use AUM. Join the masses of AUM users. And I'll use apeMatrix if I'm not using external audio. So let's just have that play off in the background. We'll check our screen recording again. It does work. And you know what? I'm gonna turn screen recording off, and I'll come back and just kind of wrap up here, only because I'm still paranoid about the screen recording ending. So just give me a sec, we'll be back. I hope that gave you a sense of the pros and cons with each of those apps working with external audio. If I had my choice, I would just use apeMatrix because I like that app a lot. But unfortunately, with the issues that I'm having with the iPad screen recording, that's not really an option right now. I have to be honest that the biggest surprise for me was AUM. I guess I'm a little naive in that regard because I know a lot of people use it and a lot of people like it. I haven't used it at all. But I will say that it was very intuitive, very easy to use, and it worked. I had no issues with it whatsoever. So I'm definitely going to be exploring AUM more in the future. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and good luck with your own music.